Time to report our findings to Chief Sergey. Oh, you're back already. Managed to stop those delinquents. Well, about that. We think the situation might be a bit more complicated than expected. How so? Lloyd explained everything they had learned to Chief Sergey. Interesting. ... Chief? Alright. I'll leave everything concerning this case to you lot then. Wait, what? What do you mean by that, exactly? Whether you're willing to continue the investigation is entirely up to you. You won't be getting any info about Ravage out of me either. You'll have to dig for it on your own. How are we supposed to... If I told you to stop the investigation, would you follow orders? Absolutely not. What? The Mafia being involved in this case already overcomplicates things. As your supervisor, the most logical step for me is to order you to close the case. Immediately. See, this is why the CPD has a bad rep in town. We thought you were trying to change that. Well, okay, he is giving us free rein to conduct the investigation or not. So, maybe. Now, is that what you want me to do? No. If we gave up now, it'd just leave a bad taste in my mouth. Randy's right, especially after learning as much as we have. I agree as well. Well, I suppose if you naive kids slipped up and got yourselves hurt on my watch, I'd have a hard time sleeping at night. So I'll do you a favor and introduce you to a trusted consultant of mine. A consultant? Is it the lawyer? Sergey handed over a business card to Lloyd. Grimwood Law Office. We were right! Something about that name rings a bell. It's located over on West Street. Run by a lawyer named Ian. Big, bearded guy. Oh, near the bakery, right? I remember talking to him a couple times when I lived in the area. I've heard of him too. Mr. Grimwood mainly provides legal consultations to corporations and other businesses, right? Though I believe he also offers his services to ordinary citizens too. That's right. Between his beard and his build, the guy almost looks like a bear, so people have taken to calling him Grizzly Grim. I'm sure he's got loads of info on the Mafia. And how did he come by this info? Who knows? He might even have new intel that even the CPD doesn't know. Really? That is quite impressive. Just what kind of guy is this lawyer? You'll find out when you meet him. I've spoken with him previously about SSS-related matters. He'll at least hear you out if you tell him you're with the Special Support Section. I figure, if nothing else, this will be a good opportunity for you to go introduce yourselves. Understood. We'll check in with him. West Street is just around the corner. Everyone okay with paying this law office a visit? Of course. Shall we head out? Head over to the law office on West Street. I've told the lawyer who runs the place about our new division here. I'm sure he'll at least hear you out. Pay attention to what he says. Might have some useful info for you. No pep talk, eh, Chief? Interesting. Oh, while we're here, might as well turn in our requests. Nothing new? Okay. As always, we appreciate your hard work. Well then, allow me to go over your reports. Okay. Oh, we got one bonus CP from the quiz. Only one, though. You have been promoted. You are presented with Bravery Badge as a reward for your performance. I'll make sure your bonuses get transferred to you immediately. Thank you, and please keep up the good work. Alright. This was West Street? Yeah. Okay. Grimwood Law Office. I believe this is the place. I've seen its owner around the neighborhood before. I had no idea he was such a prestigious lawyer, though. I mean, when you're the only lawyer in town, kinda hard not to make a name for yourself, right? Well then, Mr. Grimwood, I'm sure we'll speak again in the near future. Of course, I'll be here. Can't your division do anything more to solve this, though? I wish you'd think a little more about how this will impact the citizens. Currying favor with the populace is not my responsibility. It is ours, though, apparently. If you'll excuse me. You four. Is something the matter? I see. So you're those pups that Sergei decided to adopt. Come again? Hold on, that badge. You work for the CPD too. Who I am isn't important to you. I imagine you're here to speak with Mr. Grimwood about something. Whatever it is, I hope you don't intend on wasting his time. Unlike you useless rookies, he's a busy man. Rude! Excuse me? What was his problem? He looked like a detective from one of the investigative divisions. He appeared to be the arrogant type. Thank you, Tio. Leave it to Tio. Maybe, but I get the feeling Specs there can hold his own. Did you notice the weapon strapped under his left arm? No. No, we did not. Wait, he had a weapon. I didn't even see it. Impressive observation, Randy. I detected it with my sensors. He carried a large handgun, military grade, I believe. Yeah, sounds about right. Dang, guys. You two are amazing. It was nothing. I just managed to catch it out of the corner of my eye. More importantly, should we not head inside and greet the lawyer? Oh, right. I'm sure he's very busy, but we should still go ahead and introduce ourselves. Pete stopped by from over at the law firm. He apparently is looking to make some meals for Mr. Grimwood. That boy certainly has a good head on his shoulders, so considerate and responsible for his age. Mr. Grimwood has terrible eating habits. He manages to get past lunch on just a single cup of coffee. That's it. I'll have to start preparing his meals for him so he has no excuse. Jeez. Oh, Momo, she's just so shy of a little girl. She can be somewhat difficult at times. She'll run and hole herself upstairs whenever a customer walks in. My Momo's such a shy little girl. That explains why she was practicing, asking Ryu and Henri to play with her. I don't get along well with Pete. Oh. He got mad at me for not speaking clearly enough. Pete could be nice, but he's also kind of scary. Alright, never mind. Well, it still makes sense. Mm-hmm. Forget something, detective. Oh, pardon me. I mistook you all for someone else. Welcome to the Grimwood Law Office. How can I help you today? Oh, no need to hold back. If you have a question, ask away. You four look quite young. Have you gotten in some trouble with loans? Or perhaps you're looking to open a business together. Come now, ask me anything. No, sir, it's nothing like that. This guy's got a lot of energy for an old man. So this is the famous Grizzly Grim. I see the rumors are true. Hold on. Now that I've taken a closer look, I can't help but feel as if I've seen you somewhere before, young man. Are you one of the kids that used to live in this neighborhood? Wow, you remember me. That's right, I lived in one of the apartment complexes here about 3 years ago. Allow me to properly introduce myself. My name is Lloyd Bannings. So you did live here. Yes, that explains why you look so familiar. Wait. Bannings? Then, could you be Guy Bannings' younger brother? Huh? Yeah, I am. You knew my brother then? More than just knew him, You... Never mind. I suppose you're here to discuss something important. Maybe they worked on a case together. Come on in. You can fill me in on the details once we take a seat. Oh, and where are my manners? I'm Ian Grimwood, lawyer and head of this law firm. I see. I was wondering when I would meet the special support section that Sergey told me he was putting together. Oh yes, now that I think about it, I read an article in the Crossbell Times about you. You certainly showed diligence and spunk right out of the gate, didn't you? Yeah, well, they sure took some liberties with that article. So Guy's younger brother is a police officer now too. My, how wonderful. I can only imagine this is Adios' will. Mr. Grimwood, can I ask what your relationship was with my brother? Well, the same one I expect you and I will now have. Guy used to drop by occasionally to share and exchange all sorts of information with me. As I'm sure you know, he was an incredibly talented detective. So I'd wager he ended up helping me far more than I was able to help him. Wait a moment. Lloyd, your older brother is a detective. The heck, man? Why didn't you tell us about him? ... Sorry guys. I guess it just never came up. Besides, Guy's no longer with us. You mean... He was killed in the line of duty. About 3 years ago now. Oh. That explains why you left Crossbell. What happened to Guy truly was tragic. Believe it or not, I've conducted my own investigations into that particular incident. Sadly, any leads that may exist eluded me. So it's still an unsolved case. Is that so? Let's put that aside for now. It's not why we've come here today. Mr. Grimwood, we've explained our situation to you. Is there anything you can share with us pertaining to Ravach or its recent activities? Ravach, There's a name surrounded by nothing but sinister rumors. Illegal dealings with both the Empire and the Republic. The selling of stolen goods, mural laundering, weapon trafficking, and even operating as the middleman for hiring Jaegers. I'd say it's more than likely they take advantage of Crossbell's unique situation to aid them in each and every one of their long list of crimes. What do you mean by unique situation? What he means is, while trade and commerce have grown exponentially over the past few years, Crossbell's political foundation is quickly deteriorating, right? Well put. Crossbell and politics are currently in an extremely fragile state. The majority of politicians choose to align themselves with either the Empire or Republic, and are nothing more than greedy, power-hungry leeches. That's a strong opinion. Even if some kind of legislation to crack down on Ravage was proposed, it would never pass. There are simply too many Diet members in their pocket. ... For real, darn. Unfortunately, he's correct. The number of Diet members tied to the Mafia is higher than I'd like to admit. How do you know, though? That's likely the main reason the police can't touch them. The issue seems quite complicated. Or perhaps I am simply too young to understand. Does this mean Ravage can commit any crime they want with no repercussions? No, it hasn't gotten to that point yet. If the government were to turn a blind eye to any obvious crimes on their part, I'm sure it would send Crossbellans and our surrounding nations into an uproar. Therefore, Ravage has been very careful to avoid directly interfering with the citizenry's daily lives. However, as long as they don't actually cross that line, the CPD won't lay a finger on them. They've overlooked so many of Ravage's smaller crimes that they can't see what they've all added up to. This can't be real. Reality ain't so pretty. Behind all the city's neon lights, there are demons lurking in the shadows. I can only wonder what sort of information is inside those highly classified documents. Anyway, that's essentially all I know about Ravage. However, I need to mention that the situation with the Mafia has taken a turn. Really? Could you explain? I hear that even the CPD has only just acquired this intel. But apparently, a new faction strong enough to oppose Ravage has recently surfaced. And by all accounts, they are quite powerful indeed. A new faction? Surely it's not the Bracer Guild, right? No, this new faction isn't a threat to Ravage because they're looking to bring them to justice. They're a threat because they're in the same line of business. Another Mafia? You see, there's a powerful organization that operates out of the Republic's eastern quarter. And it's already managed to worm its way into Crossbell. What? You're certain of this? Yes, previous rumors on this organization turned out to be true, so I have no reason to be skeptical now. They're called Heiyue. Just recently, a new commercial unit, registered under the name of Heiyue Trading, opened for business in the Harbor District. Heiyue. The name certainly seems to be of Eastern origins. If things go south, it'd mean a war between two organized crime groups. Okay, so we're thinking the Mafia attacked the two gangs so that they could either A, destroy both gangs and fold the remaining members into their own organization and become more powerful and use them to take down Heiyue Trading. Or they're planning on eventually blaming Heiyue for attacking the two gang members, and then the gang members will go after them, and then they'll wipe each other out, and Ravage will have no more competition. Maybe? We don't know? The petty fights we've seen between the street gangs would be nothing compared to that. You're absolutely right. At the very least, there haven't been overt signs of a dispute between the two groups just yet. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they began battling each other outside of the public eye. The 1st Division seems to be keeping a close eye on the whole thing. You don't say. So the man with glasses who left right when we arrived was... Yes, that was Detective Dudley from the 1st Division. Coincidentally, he was asking me questions on the same topic. A coincidence, indeed. ... Lloyd? You went quiet all of a sudden. Let me guess. You noticed something. Yeah, I still need time to sort it all out in my head, though. Thank you very much, Mr. Grimwood. Without your help, we wouldn't have been able to find the lead we needed to move forward with our investigation. I'm just glad I could be of assistance. Sergei's always been a tremendous help to me, so personally, I'll be praying for your success. If you ever run into any problems, you're welcome to stop by here anytime. Well, at least somebody wants us to succeed. Genuinely. Unlike Wazi. So, what's the next course of action? Should we go back to the SSS building and sort through all the information we've gathered? Good idea. But before we do that, now's the time to wrap up any unfinished business we still have to take care of. If my hunch about the truth of these incidents is correct, well, let's just say we're in for a bumpy ride. Well, we'll just have to buckle up then, won't we? Anyhow, let's head back to base once we've crossed off everything on our to-do list. Sound good? Yes, it does. Let us make haste. Interesting. I hope that the bit of information I shared with you turns out to be a solid lead. Feel free to come and visit again if there's anything else I can help with. Just let me know. Well, I can't promise that I'll always be able to help, but you won't know until you stop by. Worrying alone doesn't solve legal cases. That's what's so tricky about them. Yeah, that makes sense. I assure you, Mr. Grimwood, if the opportunity comes up, we'll take you up on your offer. Good to hear. I'll be waiting. And if I'm not around, you can always leave a message with my assistant, Pete. Trust me, his skills when it comes to office work far surpass mine. Sure. Actually, can we go in here? No, we cannot. What are you hiding in there? Maybe now that we know what the building is, we finally unlocked the knock button. Oh, this is new. Yes, I'll attempt to gather information in the Republic for the time being. I'll leave the investigation to you, Emma. Understood. I'll rendezvous with Surveillance Team K ASAP. This matter has nothing to do with you lot. Hurry up and make yourself scarce. Rude. Still not as rude as those two bracers, though. The Special Support Section. Please, don't go impeding my investigation. The lot of you are nothing more than dead weight. Okay, that is a lot more like the bracers. That was awfully rude. Yes, it was. I'm pretty sure those two over there are from the 1st Division. I mean, a single glance is enough to see just how capable they are. Oh man, just being near them is starting to make me nervous. You gotta wonder, wasn't Lloyd's brother part of the 1st Division as well? Dudley looks around the same age as Lloyd's brother did in the photo. Did they maybe used to work together? But if they did, why doesn't he recognize Lloyd? Hey everyone, I'm glad to see you're all doing well. You're going to go stop the delinquents from stirring up trouble in the downtown district, right? Yeah, at least that's the plan. I see. I live on East Street, so I occasionally catch those guys causing a ruckus. It always scares me a bit when I see them gathered out there picking fights with each other. I think that'd make just about anyone unsettled. We definitely need to do something about their behavior. It's about time someone took action against it. It seems we've got a situation on our hands in the downtown district. Stay safe out there, everyone. Thank you. Okie doke. I mean, so far, the only person who has recognized Lloyd was the 2nd Division Chief? Nope. Still can't go inside. Alright, let's see if we have any more dialogue with Wazi and Wald. Now that we've made some progress in our investigations. Doesn't look like it. Oh. I told the members to wait for my orders before they try anything. We'll postpone our actions for the day at the very least. Really? Thanks. Oh, don't get the wrong idea. I'm hardly doing this for your sake. Question mark? We're just conserving our stamina while we can, so that we may bathe in the blood of those filthy vipers. Wow. Wow. Dude might be pretty on the outside, but darn, his personality is hideous. Randy. That's hilarious. I'd hurry up with that investigation of yours if I were you. Alright, but would you stop this fight if we actually, you know, solve the case? He seems like he's just itching for a fight regardless, so... And this is just an excuse. Please notify Wazi of any new information you may have stumbled upon. There is no need to speak with us. Now that it's come to this, I regret not reading my old man's medical textbooks. Question mark? Medical textbooks. What? Oh, it's just you guys again. You got a problem with that? Everybody has a secret or two. We dragged Daisel back here after he was assaulted to administer some emergency medical care, but... he didn't regain consciousness. We ended up calling an ambulance and had to wait until dawn before we could shuttle him off. I may despise my old man, but I really regret not having him teach me some basic first aid techniques. Aww. So that's what happened. You guys must be worried sick. Yeah, strangely enough, the ambulance didn't depart for the hospital immediately after picking up Azel. I mean, they probably had to pick up the other guy too. Oh, how come? Apparently, some other person downtown got injured and sent to the hospital. It was some stinkin' saber viper. One of his comrades told us he got hurt. The ambulance ended up taking both injured victims to the hospital at the same time. So, members from both of your groups were assaulted on the same night. Interesting. Talk about some convenient timing, eh? Convenient? The timing was horrible! Do you think we want to share an ambulance with some viper? Lost my cool there for a second. Azel being hospitalized has me worried. My old man works there, So maybe I'll use him as an excuse to go visit Azel tomorrow. Alright. Darn those saber vipers. They've been holding a grudge against us ever since they lost the last fight. Shameful cowards! There's no doubt that they're the culprits. Uh-huh. I wonder how Azel's doing. I hope he's regained consciousness by now. Living downtown isn't nearly as bad as you'd think. A lot of spare parts lying around, waiting to be rediscovered. Right, think it's about time to see what I can dig up today. Come by again if you ever need something from me, yeah? I'm out of spare parts for the day, but I still keep the place open in case anyone comes by needing a repair job. I think a fight broke out around here a few days ago. I saw a bunch of broken glass and some blood splatters. My chest tightened up just looking at it. Those boys in the tracksuits pass through here often. These old ears of mine couldn't make out what all the fuss was about, but I'm just glad everyone's enjoying themselves. Huh? I thought they were gonna have their whole big showdown today. The heck happened to them? Those hoodlums never let up, do they? They're all fighting someone again. Oh, I give up already. I just want to play. From the jobless to the penniless, we see all sorts. You'll also find a fair share of drifters from other countries who end up here. But as long as you live here, you're a kindred spirit. After all, those of us at the bottom have got to help each other out to survive. Everyone has their own circumstances for living here. The downtown district doesn't turn anyone away, though that means we end up with some scuffles and rough customers here and there. I used to be a well-renowned trader, so don't lump me in with the rest of the crazies living here. Jeez. Darn it, how could someone like myself be stuck living downtown? Will those goons ever get tired of fighting? It'd be fantastic if they did. I'd finally get the peace and quiet needed to study for this darned exam. It's plenty quiet now. Why aren't you studying? That smells good. Doesn't that smell great? It's making me hungry. I want Daddy to eat with us. I hope he comes home soon. It's all thanks to my husband's hard work that I can cook warm meals for my family. I'm grateful for everything he does. Hold your horses, dear. The stew's just about done, I'll have you know. The door is shut tight. Vaughn, give me another drink. Koki got done in by the Testaments. He stuck out his neck for me all the time. I'm about to go visit someone at the hospital. Don't even think about trying to stop me, okay? I'll kick your butt if you do. Didn't we fight you guys earlier? Oh yeah, totally. You guys kicked our butts. Well, at least he's willing to admit it. You better mark my words, because I'll be sure to kick your butts twice as hard. Eventually. Is he attempting to fight us yet again? His physical capabilities far surpass his mental capacity. These are the kind of guys to forget stuff within 3 minutes. Trust me. Mark my words. We're gonna beat the heck out of the Testaments one of these days. Sure. Those rotten blue jerks, prepare yourselves while you still can. You'll wish you never laid your filthy hands on Koki. Those rotten blue jerks, prepare yourselves while you still can. Hey, yeah! 100 times over, 100 times again. Time to return the favor, you dig? Okay. Those hooded freaks were hanging around our turf again, were they? I'll pay back each and every one of those Testaments for what they did. Don't even think about getting in my way either, or I'll crush ya. I'm so darn mad. I knew we should have taken them out while we had the chance. Back when we were loading Koki into the ambulance, we ran into a bunch of the blue jerks. They were crying about how one of their guys was knocked out too, so the ambulance took him along with Koki. Oh, right. I guess the guy from the Testaments rode in the same ambulance as your friend. But in that case, wouldn't you have known that the Testaments got hurt too? They even claimed that his wounds were the result of your signature nail bats. Ha! That's pretty obviously one of their dirty tricks. They ain't afraid of getting down and dirty. Those brainiacs are always trying to make us look bad. I know we decided to retreat, but we should have totally beat the heck out of them right then and there. Darn those blue jerks, messing with us like that. Look at what they did to my boy. I'm freaking ticked we didn't beat them when we had the chance. Wait. How? I mean, maybe somebody climbed out the windows on the rooftop to put up their laundry. Maybe. All right. Nothing new here. Oh no, that's the Fisherman's Guild. Michelle? Anything new for us? New? All right. What's that? A message, maybe. There's a note stuck to the bulletin board. I've got some errands to run. Wrap up the case however you see fit. Sergey. Oh, I guess he stepped out. Who wants to bet that he ran away because the case seems like a pain in the butt? We cannot rule out that possibility. Well, at the very least, we've been given permission to solve this case however we like. So with that in mind, what's our next step? Should we review what we know? Yeah, definitely. To start the meeting, inspect the exclamation mark at the table. Let's get this meeting started then. First off, we should review all our info that's relevant to the case. Ooh, we get a whiteboard and everything. The incident took place around midnight, 5 days ago. Oh no, this is gonna be another quiz, isn't it? Members of both the Saber Vipers and Testaments were each ambushed by unknown assailants. However, the attacks occurred at 2 different locations in the city's downtown district. Here and here. Near both of their hideouts. The Testament's member was attacked in the alleyway to the west. And the Saber Viper got messed up in front of Ignis, which is towards the east. In other words, the attacks happened at opposite ends of the area. Exactly. By spacing them this far apart, it prevented each group from immediately learning about the attack on the other. Both gangs took their wounded members directly back to their respective bases, and the victims were moved to the hospital the next day. Weren't the victims transported there in the same ambulance? Yeah, I can only imagine how much of a shock that was to the paramedics. The gangs, however, wouldn't be aware of the ambulance's passengers. So consequently, each group came to the conclusion that they were attacked by the other, which is what we confirmed today. Yeah, the only answer that makes sense is that there was a third party involved. Unless both groups rehearse their accounts, chances of either group being responsible for attacking the other are pretty slim. Agreed. Based on the evidence so far, it's safe to assume the attacks were the work of some third party. All we can do now is consider all the possibilities and rule out the ones that don't seem feasible. But we already have an idea who that third party might be. Isn't that right, Lloyd? Yeah. They're the ones in control of Crossbelt's criminal underbelly, the notorious Mafia, Ravach and Company. According to the intel Grace shared with us, someone spotted mafiosos snooping around the downtown district a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to verify the credibility of that. But for now, let's continue the review with the assumption that Ravach was responsible for both attacks. Well, that just brings us to the next question. What was their motive? Exactly. Figuring out the answer to that is crucial. If we can't figure out their motive, we're all the way back to square one. Motive, huh? There's hardly any conflict of interest between the Mafia and the 2 gangs. There must be some line that connects these 3 dots together. I imagine you already have some idea of what that is, don't you, Lloyd? Well, I can't say with absolute certainty, of course. But I think there's at least one thing that might connect these 3 factors. Wazi, Wald, the presence of Heiyue. We don't really get it, but we're gonna go with the presence of Heiyue. The only realistic possibility that comes to mind is Heiyue. Oh, right. Our grizzly friend mentioned them, didn't he? That definitely feels like the most likely possibility for now. In that case, though, what about Heiyue connects these 3? In order for them to be connected, there must be some necessity. For example, was it this connection with Heiyue that made the attacks against the 2 gangs unavoidable? Yeah, that would explain everything. Oh? What you thinking? Well, about that necessity Tio mentioned. What do you think Ravach would do if they found out that Heiyue was trying to establish a foothold in Crossbell? Well, I imagine they'd want to build up their forces pronto. Recruit more people and upgrade their weaponry, you know? No way! Were we right? Ravach should have no problems getting new weapons, given their known smuggling operations. But how do they go about recruiting people? Good question. Normally you'd hire Jaegers. But that's unlikely in Crossbell's case, given the scrutiny the neighboring countries put on us. So long as the non-aggression pact stands, Erebonia and Calvard would never overlook unauthorized Jaegers entering the state. The two Diet factions representing them would likely react the exact same way too. Oh, that's it! Lloyd, could the Mafia be recruiting the gang members? Hot-blooded and more or less disciplined. I can't think of a more perfect pool of candidates to beef up the Mafia's presence in the city. But there are certain individuals in each gang preventing that, aren't there? Right. I could never see Wazi cooperating with the Mafia. And I doubt Walt would bow down to any kind of authority, even Ravage. He is not the type of person who would allow others to boss him around. So, Ravage realizes this and plots to weaken the two gangs, intending to swoop in later and bag the remaining members. We have totally found our calling! We were meant to be detectives! Clearly! Heck, that must be it. Remember, this is still nothing more than a theory. All we've done is bring together the facts and try to make sense of them. Aw, look at you, being all modest. I think that your analysis of the situation isn't too far off from the truth, Lloyd. Your reasoning was sound and logical. Clearly, your detective certifications were well earned. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So, everyone, our next move should be to explain our theory to those two, don't you think? Those two? Hey, you don't mean... I sure do. Wald Wallace and Wazi Hemisphere. Leaders of the Saber Vipers in the Testaments. Will they believe us, though? That is the question.